You're appealing the judge's order. You call it discriminatory.
It's not fair. It's cruel to ask me to choose between my child and the oath I took as a physician.
Unfair and cruel. How about what's unfair and cruel to that child? Instead of your own personal feelings, maybe you should put the child's best interest first.
So I think it is discriminatory for a judge to tell me that I can't come home to my child.
Well, maybe you're being discriminatory. Maybe you're willing to put this child's life at risk when it's not necessary. I understand for medical professionals that don't have the option, but you do have the option.
My brother works, is an engineer, and he's building the tent hospitals up in New York, and he gets to come home to his 2 kids. No one's questioning that decision.
And I love these types of people, right? It's just fascinating. They always have an excuse, and they're always looking to others. Well, he did it. She did it. My brother did it. My mama did it. We're here talking about you. Okay, this is your situation, your child. You don't need to look at everybody else to come to a conclusion, to have that common sense that maybe I shouldn't put my child in danger.
If I was married and I'd be, given the opportunity to go home to my child, no one could tell me that I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and you're not married. So why bring that up? This is not your situation. Why are you looking to everybody else for an excuse?
I want to read you a statement from the attorney of your ex-husband.
They already have time sharing. She's going to be seeing the child on video daily, which I know it sucks as a parent, but choosing whether your child could potentially get sick, if you had the chance not to and it's temporary while you get to do your job, why not? The other thing too is you get to make up that time. So you'll get extra time once this is all over. So is this really about the child or is it about you?
Pursuant to Mr. Greene's request and as ordered by the court, Dr. Greene is to be provided future makeup time sharing for each day missed and daily video communication with the child.
I mean, I can't make this stuff up, right? It's amazing that she's literally appealing and fighting to see the child during this whole situation that's going on, and she's an ER nurse. Not only that, it's just temporary. It is temporary, for God's sake.
Temporary time sharing dispute was presented before the court, and a decision was reached based on the best interest and safety of a minor child.
Let's get into her defense. Why she should have custody, part-time custody of the child. Why not only she should risk this child's safety and interest, but also you got to think the child's going back to the father.
And there will be those who look at this and say, this is about the child's safety.
Yeah, for sure. But there's also going to be people on the other side that are like, nah, that's not right.
How were you guaranteeing, or how did you plan to guarantee that she was safe?
Notice her response to this, because she's not doing what's in the best interest for the child. She's not doing what's safe. And when I play this clip, notice the small little pause and the swallowing.
And we have, good evidence that has really made me feel better in what I'm doing and sticking by. That shows that, children are minimally affected by
this. So I wonder what minimally is. Also, that lets you know that she's taking a risk that doesn't need to be taken, but she's taking it anyway. If you have to take it, you don't have the option, I understand, but she's taking the risk anyway. And well, what's minimal? I don't know. Let's take a look. What is minimal? I mean, if you're willing to risk your child's life, what is minimal?
Researchers now say small children can become seriously ill.
A new study by the American Academy of Pediatrics is alarming parents that at one point thought their children were at low risk.
Maybe I'm just a helicopter dad. Maybe I just feel a lot. When she was in the hospital, my daughter, in February, it was horrible. Sick for a week, then I got sick for a week. Maybe we had this, I don't know. But if I had the chance to prevent it, if there was something going on and they said, hey, you're going to have to stay away for a month for the safety of your child, I would do it.
The new study, the largest to date, looked at more than 2,000 sick children in China. While about half of the children only had mild symptoms, about 6% of the kids developed very serious illness.
Minimal. Half of the kids had mild symptoms. Did you mean minimal by that? Or the 6% critical? Minimal. I mean, I'm just saying, if you don't have to take it. I mean, there's so many women out there that wish a man, the father of their child, be like, hey, I'll take the child for this amount of time. Go work, go relax, whatever. There's so many women that would love that. No, you're fighting to endanger your child.
13 cases considered critical, another 112 severe.
To me, I think part of her problem is ego. We don't know what else is behind the background. Maybe she's just trying to do this to give the father a hard time. But it seems a little bit to me kind of egotistical. And I mean, listen to her, the medical expert, the doctor that I disagree with.
Been practicing medicine or, training in medicine for 18 years now. I know what I'm doing. This isn't the first, communicable disease that I've encountered.
So this next part is the PPE defense, protective personal equipment, where she states that they have plenty of it and she uses it properly. So I guess she feels that she's immune.
First of all, we have adequate PPE at my hospital. Healthcare workers who use proper precautions are not at increased risk than the general population.
Healthcare workers that use proper precaution with the PPE are not at more risk than the general population. Logically, right? Does that even make sense? Like, you're going into an environment potentially full of these people.
Essential employees working on the front lines are also testing positive. The CEO of Ochsner Health System says 60 employees have the virus and 300 are in quarantine.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's right. Maybe they are at less risk, or maybe they're at the same risk. Or why don't you tell us, doctor, what the exact risk is compared to the general population of healthcare workers? I guess they're not at risk at all, is what you're saying, or they have the same risk? Also, it's based on a lot of assumptions that everybody else around you is using the proper handling of PPE and applying it the proper way.
And I come home, I strip down the carport, I take a shower, and the fact of the matter is my daughter is not usually here when I'm working.
Your daughter is usually not there when you're working. I thought there was something called an incubation period. It's just me. Maybe I don't know.
I won't abandon my team at work or the patients who will increasingly look to me to save their lives in the coming weeks.
Oh, is that victim thing that they do? You don't have to abandon your job, and your daughter can be in a safe place with her father.
Healthcare workers who use proper precautions are not at increased risk.
What I love about this interview is that she states that healthcare workers are not at any additional risk compared to the general population as long as they're using the proper PPE, and within the same interview states that, yeah, it's riskier and it's dangerous.
And yes, it is, there's fear and there's danger, and we're being very careful.
If you were being very careful, you would let your daughter be with the father during this time. Also, like I said previously, these kinds of people that never take any kind of accountability, it's just kind of funny to me because they're always talking about we, they, their, those people. We're not talking about all the people in that hospital being safe. We're talking about you.
But it's torture, and I think my daughter, I want her, when she grows up, to be proud of me by abiding by the oath I took when I went into medicine.
Hey, and that's great. You can keep that oath to medicine. How about the oath to your daughter? I may have been somewhat critical on this video, and all parents make mistakes, but it's just really frustrating with these situations because this is intentional. You have the option. There's a lot of parents out there that don't have the option, and you're trying to fight this. It's just incredible to me. I hope that Florida doesn't back down. I hope that she doesn't win the appeal, and I think that the father should have the child until this situation ends and you can see your child extra. And with that, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you think about this situation and what should happen and what would you do if you were in that situation. Take care of yourselves and peace.